McDonoliad Book 1.
Sing, O I heart, of the dramatic legend of Fred, the destined champion of all average men. Let the story of greatest proportions echo down across the generations, and let none forget the grand journey, the journey of all journeys that mighty Fred did undertake. Let it be told across the cities of the world of men, from the cities of America to the quiet ranches of England. Let it be broadcasted across the world so that all may hear and rejoice, pleased by such a tale. May not even the eternal battle between beloved Spotify and mighty Pandora prevent its telling. I call upon thee, O great pop singers, grant me the wisdom and voice to let such this tale begin. Ere thus did Fred Green, son of Carl, begin his great journey. Long had he toiled, sweat composed upon his brow within the offices. Great were his deeds there, but far less than what he did decree to do upon the clicking of the clock, the great mover of destiny. Mighty and powerful is the clock and the alarm, which controls the fates of men. White is its background and black are its arms, the hands that point to the utter truth of reality. The clock sets for stability and order, for time is the basis of stability and order. It is the platform of understand, the basis for the workings of reality. Yet ere also is it the great prison of man, for those clutched in the fists of jobs must ever concede to the almighty clock. From its unyielding frequency, arcs are set, and man is subjected and chained to his post for a set time, and only the pass of the arms shall set him free. Many are those who languish, eagerly eyeing the mighty machine, O bringer of joy and sadness. Those who see their time is near rejoice, for at last shall they be freed, let loose to return hither to home and fireplace. But great is suffering of mortals, who have only begun the period of their prison. For long shall they toil in their tasks, as set forth by the clock, which yields not to man's desire. For it tells time, and time listens to no man. But at last the cordial hands of the small but mighty clock did at last strike their chords, and ere did Fred look up and notice his bonds of constraint had been loosed by the clicking of the clock. Joy filled his heart, and quickly he did gather his companions to him, and spoke thus: "To me, O brothers and sisters, my dearests of allies, look there, upon the gray painted wall, our salvation at last. The mighty keeper of time has signaled the passing of the door, the opening of the gates, and the shedding of chains and ropes. Hither, I implore you to gather round to me, friend, and ere a true ally to you all. Come, and I shall give you thus insight into what next our course shall be." "Peace, good friend," spoke Stacy, friend to Fred, "and let us hear your words. Indeed, I will listen most excellently to you, companion, for well have I learnt the manner of your talk. Born I was Martha, daughter of Kester. Of ancient yore I will impart, for long is the history of my family. My great-great-great-father was, of birth, an old Swedish, that ancient race that dwells in the far-off lands of Scandinavia. Long have those people dwelt there, bitter frosts and clamoring cold that chill the frozen fjords of that land. They were called the terrors of the seas of their age, Vikings, who did come forth upon wooden prows to strike upon the shores of other men. Greatly afeared were the ancient men of that land, who dared even to travel far to hither lands unknown, even to North America, the residence of our own in this modern age. But long has this time passed into the ages of legend and myth. I am of that noble line, among the descendants of that people, the wrath of the Northman still felt in his blood, and the call to greater lands yearning in his veins. Ere did he thus travel to yonder lands, far across the black-clad roads of great cities, to coffee shops and antique store untouched by mortal hands, to unkempt places within the mighty city of mankind. The courage of my ancestors now boils in my blood, and I felt the mighty call on his great adventure. Hither allies, companions, and co-workers. I speak to you of where this call takes me. Let us satiate our eternal hungers with the crispy golden goodness of the foods of McDonald's." Jubilantly was the greetings of the people, who stood fast to hear Fred's words. "Of truth," spoke Stacy once more, "you speak most wise and true, noble Fred. I concur that this is a most splendid and wise decision, for quite great is our hunger, and since now that almighty clock has given us freedom for the hour, shall we not take good use of it?" The words of Stacy, the wise and careful, was pleasing to the ears of the gathered workers, and confirmed their agreements, with small discussion, among them. However, one among them did object, and in fact did speak against the words of Fred. You have spoken quite well, good Fred. And now, see here the people grovel as they listen to your self-anointed words, which slip from your tongue like sweet honey into their suckled mouths, as deer which pant eagerly for fresh water in the hot of summer. The deer, long and tired, has eluded the various dangers of its kind, from the cold of the winter that gives no mercy to man or beast, to the orange-clad hunters of the fall who wait in their eager perches and lay sophisticated traps for their prey. The grass is thin and buried far under deep snow, while the twisting streams are frozen deep under thick ice and chilled to the core by winter's frosty breath. But come spring, the hot air of the season descends from on high, and the mighty sun penetrates the land with its burning rays. Winter is forced to submit and flee, and at last the ice cracks. The water flows fresh and clear, and at last the deer sees salvation. It reaches out and eagerly drinks in deeply and fully from the flowing streams, the senses delighted by the fresh taste of clear water. Thus do these peons listen to you, O Fred, hounding upon your words. Mark then paused, now that the eyes of the people gaped upon him. Thus, he continued, you have spoke of McDonald's, to travel there and quench our deep hunger and feast upon the fast-provided food of that restaurant. I, however, suggest another alternative to that. Hear this now carefully. Instead of the crummy foodstuff of the McDonald's store, let us dare to go to another mighty temple of the endless hunger of fat Americans, Taco Bell. Such brazen words shook the people of the office, who gasped in surprise. Murmur broke out among them, spreading his tendrils of discord and discourse, and a choir never conducted began to sing its symphony of confusion. But Fred drew from his belly anger at the words of Mark, and sharply retorted, Fool of man, you would suggest death to our stomachs and a lasting legacy of pain for us. Only the mad would dare to embark upon such a foolish crusade. Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, Genghis Khan, or even Hitler would dare attempt such a conquest. Such a foolhardy endeavor. Do you not know what strange mixtures and alchemical components are poured together, fused in mysterious rituals to provide sustenance within the kitchens of Taco Bell? No, truly that idea of yours, Mark, is worthy of scorn. Do you know what the bell of Taco Bell tolls for? It rings for the lost souls of those who tasted its foods. For death follows them and hears the ringing of the Taco Bell. Many are those who eat of their foods, and enter into the bathrooms, never to return. And if they do, the evil twins, change and horror, leave their mark and follow the hapless victims. None can go to Taco Bell and emerge unscathed. The fervor of the words of Fred, son of Carl, were thus truly spoken. Once proud Mark stepped back in shame, fury upon his face like the beating heart of the sun, but he quitted his bitter self and shrank once more within the crowd. However, dissension is not so easily gone with, and out of the clamor rang another voice. This, however, appeared to be a spirit, for none then or now know who spoke these words. But friends, what do we say about Dairy Queen? Boo, I say, shouted Fred back in repose, truly now with anger at these questions irking his heart. Again I say boo. Have we fellow friends and companions not have had enough talk of this matter? Must we be so disunited in our cause that such a menial choice is to cause dissension amongst our ranks? Think of the mighty bonds of the family, when father and mother give birth to their multiple children. They tend the lands of their family, offering joy and happiness to their parents in their youth. What father does not smile upon the sight of their daughters dancing with mirth, or what mother is not proud when her sons find their first jobs? But even such bonds can be shattered with the power of political ideologies. Truly, many have been divided. For as the children of the household gather up their minds and journey forth in the lands of the urban liberal, are not their thoughts and thinking altered against what their parents believed? O mighty college, the creator of the millennials and the father of 1,000,000 liberals, you have torn asunder many a multitude. For upon return the conservative parent cannot agree with their liberal children. Shall such disunity come forth upon us now? Our minds broken like shattered glass windows with the choices of popular fast food restaurants? Like a roaring lion did the people shout back, agreeing with Fred most heartily. Like the master of the orchestra, he stood above them with pride. Thus he spoke again. Then, as the masses have proclaimed, we shall follow the course spoke thus. Let us forget silly dreams of Taco Bell or Dairy Queen. Instead, we shall follow the call of our limited wallets and the yearning of our stomachs. Upon my will, With the roar of the mighty hunger within our bones, we shall journey upon our quest to McDonald's.